Welcome to my monthly segment of games that time forgot. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. This month, I will be going over Star Control 2 for the PC. Let's get started. So a few days ago, I came upon another top 100 games of all time list. This one was on the website For the Win, which I had never heard of before. So I gave it a good read. As I kept scrolling down the list to eventually what would be the number one game, it was becoming incredibly obvious that one game was missing. And while it's natural for everyone not to be on the same page as far as what games should and should not be on the lists, there are some games that time and time again get overlooked or just ignored by major publications and reviewers out there. So when I see list after list of this type being put online, and this next game here I'm about to talk about getting overlooked once again, it's just a travesty in my book. So for those out there not familiar with this title, Star Control 2 was released in 1992 by developer Toys for Bob and was published on the PC by Accolade, while the 3DO version got their copy published by Crystal Dynamics. This one is a sequel to the game that came out in 1990 for many platforms, including the Amiga computer and Sega Genesis, to name a few. But while the first game dealt mostly with one-on-one starship battles and very little diplomacy, Part 2 went on a whole new direction. This game was developed with the intention of it being one of the first true RPGs to take place in space, with a full sci-fi theme. Phantasy Star tackled that concept from a more RPG point of view, while Star Control 2 took the outer space route with its story. So let me go over a quick synopsis of the story, which is told in detail inside the manual. The ur-quan race has slowly been conquering vast parts of space. As far back as the 1930s, their race as well as other alien races had started to closely watch our own, while battles waged far beyond our planet. In 2112, mankind would finally make alien contact. The Chen Jesu had approached mankind with a simple message, a warning actually. The message was simple. The ur-quan would soon be coming, and they needed to ally themselves with the Alliance of Free Stars if they were to stand a chance. Eventually, the human race did ally themselves, but over time, the Alliance of Free Stars slowly started to lose the war. The Star Control team sends an undercover ship to explore an unknown region of space, and they ultimately uncover a planet that houses an ancient alien technology that might give the Alliance an edge on the ongoing war. They return to Earth and send a new expedition to this planet. Once there, the ur-quan closed in on the star system they were on. Some humans remained behind to destroy this new technology if found by the enemy. That team would ultimately be left stranded on planet Vela 2 for decades, but with the help of a professor and a child prodigy, they are able to get the alien technology up and running. This results in a ship being built that might help in turning the tide of the war. Eventually, you are chosen as its captain, and you make your way to Earth with this new technology. The game starts off with you arriving to Earth and finding it has already been enclosed in an impenetrable force field.
Attention, interloper. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of ur-quan. You are trespassing within ur-quan space.
The captain of the orbiting space station fills you in on current events.
Your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology, we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. This time, win the damn war. Consider the consequences if you should fail. The ur-quan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well.
From here on out, it's all about exploration and combat. The game will give you clues as to what to do next based on where you go and what transmissions the captain receives back at the starport.
Captain, I haven't seen an Avenger blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the ur-quan.
But your ship is extremely slow and has very weak weaponry. That wouldn't be such a huge problem, except that once you venture outside the solar system, you will most likely be attacked by a probe. Your only chance is to start mining minerals inside the solar system and in close orbiting star systems. This is how you build up your starship speed and other attributes tied to it. You can upgrade thrusters for speed, turning jets for turning faster, crew pods allow for more personnel on board, which is basically your health meter. You also got cargo pods, which allow you to carry more minerals in alien forms, and slots for guns and dynamo units, which allow for your weapons to recharge faster. So even though you might collect many minerals, you still have to plan what to upgrade, or in some cases downgrade, in order to deal with certain situations. Collecting minerals will also be dependent on your planetary lander. This ship right here will be the one dispatched to collect minerals on all planets. As the game progresses, you will be able to upgrade your lander to be able to land on more hostile planets. Some planets will even have alien life forms for you to collect. The reason you do this is to collect credit points that you can use with the Melnorme.
Once again, we meet to exchange valuable tangibles. Isn't this fun? Now, what can we do for you today?
Now, the Melnorme are a rather curious race. They aren't enemies, but they're not your allies either. They're just sort of the interpretation of capitalism in space. They are there to supply you with much needed upgrades to fight your war, at a price of course. You bring to them aliens captured on planets and coordinates to rainbow planets in exchange for credits, which you use to buy from them information, ship upgrades, and even fuel. And for some reason they just seem to hang around star systems with large stars. But they will also appear in hyperspace and approach you if you run out of fuel while traveling. But the Melnorme are but one of many races out there. Some are hostile, others are friendly, and others are just odd.
We are the Great Ones, the Spotty High Council. You have given us the correct cipher, and so you will not be destroyed immediately. Now, if you please, tell us how you acquired our most secret Spotty cipher, which every Spotty swears.
The map that comes with the game shows you which parts of space certain races occupy. The game also comes with a hint book that shows you lots of information about worlds and coordinates of alien races, as well as vague hints on the many side quests in the game. It has enough information to pique your interest, but it doesn't give away any major spoilers or info. The game has over 500 planets to explore and hundreds of systems to travel to. Fuel consumption and crew maintenance are other ship statistics you will need to keep an eye on. One of the worst things that can happen, other than dying of course, is losing all your fuel on a hyperspace jump and being stranded, then getting engaged by one of the Slilandro probes, which you will see a lot of.
This probe is programmed to defend against hostile behavior, starting targeting to component materials.
One of the few things I did not like about this game when I played it initially is that there is a countdown to the end of the game. Now, the ur-quan will ultimately conquer the entire universe by a set date, which the manual will let you know what date that is. You must keep an eye on the date at all times to know where you are as far as time remaining is concerned. There are so many planets to explore that I always wanted more time to do this and run into more aliens to interact with and exhaust their conversation tree. Don't ask me why, but conversing with a Mycon is like a soothing experience. They are so chill until you realize that they will try and kill you.
The deep children are a part of Chuckle One, home builders, the dwellers in the mobile roaches.
The looks of the alien races are so unique to one another that it's a welcome sight to run into new races every so often. Each one has their own way of interacting and their voices are very well done. Sometimes a bit racist too.
I'm the glorious Sophisti warrior Tanaka. You killed my father, my mother, my many brothers, all 6 of my sisters. In fact, my entire species. Prepare to die.
Wow, and the Udwig have got to be the most emo race in all the universe.
I suppose as a courtesy I should extend an appropriate greeting.
On behalf of the Ootwig Proctors, I truly hope for your sake that your day has been better than ours.
I just love them. Just don't break their ur-quan device. The Zookfot pig are also hilarious, and to this day I would love to see what a game of Frungy actually looks like.
Yeah, let's tell him about Frungy. Be quiet, you fool. He asked a serious question. He doesn't want to know about Frungy. How do you know? What makes you so smart? You never even asked him if he wants to know about Frungy.
Each race also has their own specific ships, each one more different than the other, of course. One of the fun parts of this game is once you enter combat, you get to try out these ships and what their main and secondary weapons are. I had to figure out which of them were better suited for specific encounters. Wait a second, go back. What, seriously? The name of the ship for the Siren are called penetrators, and they look like that. Okay, let me just move on. Towards the end of the game, you will have amassed a great deal of alien ships from all sectors of the galaxy as you make your way towards the final confrontation. One of the best parts of this game is the interaction you will have with the aliens, and sometimes how such interactions and actions on your part influence their standing and even the way they act toward other races.
Perhaps humans can fight after all. If our reports are accurate, we will test this hypothesis in the laboratory of life. In glorious battle.
Creatures, may your roots always be well watered. I am Captain Allah Lala. We come in peace.
We come in peace. Engaging self-destruction circuitry.
We are the ur-quan core. We cleanse our destiny. You will soon die. Make whatever rituals are necessary for your species.
The music and overall soundtrack is also something to behold. The creepy yet tranquil tunes while traveling through space vary depending on what sector of space you are on. Some tunes are downright eerie and give off that sensation of what it must be like to be in space, all alone, and a sense of uncertainty. But some tunes, like that of the Milnorm, are actually quite funny and upbeat and give the game a bit of relief from the overall brooding soundtrack. There are too many side quests and stories to go over for this video, but know that from an RPG standpoint, this game right here does not disappoint. Space battles are brief, but they are a lot of fun and quite tense. Now, as you get towards the end of the game, you will uncover many secrets about many different races and how they all play into the overall storyline. Battles will become easier as your ship is upgraded, and at that point in time, the only real enemy you have to contend with is what little time you have before the ur-quan annihilate the entire known space. Because of this, you will have to access the ability to travel through subspace, something that will save you lots of time towards the end and save fuel consumption. The detailed maps found online as well as the hint book go over what coordinates lead to where by using subspace. Very useful. In the end, the game was a monumental achievement when it arrived on the PC and later to the 3DO. It offers such an expansive amount of planets and systems to explore, it was almost unheard of upon release. It was lauded by critics and publications and later went on to secure many awards. And to this day, it is considered by many out there to be one of the greatest games of all time. The good thing is that the fans out there gave this game new life by releasing a modified 3DO version of the game to the PC, retitled the ur-quan Masters. This version has had many mods. The game here is one I play every few years in its entirety. It is still one of my favorite to play and I just get lost in it for a few days. If you've ever played any of the Mass Effect games, then you have Star Control to thank for that. If you have never played Star Control 2, give it a shot. It's free, totally free, no tricks here. It is considered abandonware at this point. So, what are you waiting for? Go, 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 go!
Frungy, Frungy, Frungy!